Ladies and gentlemen, we are excited tonight as we congregate, listening to the serenading music courtesy of the police band in the house. We recognize your presence and the function that you bring to this event. As we begin, it is befitting that as citizens under the Republic of Zimbabwe, we stand up to recognize and acknowledge the anthemic values enshrined in the system of values that we believe in. Shall we all rise and stand at attention as bona fide citizens of this republic, as the police band shall quite ably take us through the national anthem. Thank you very much. We may clap our hands as we settle down to begin our proceedings officially.
Good evening, everyone. Before our program commences, I would like to take this opportunity to commit this important program to the Almighty by reading a few scriptures. Our scripture reading comes from the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verses 23 to 24. It says, I'm paraphrasing, whatever you do, do it so well as if you are doing it for the Lord. And remember, you are serving on His behalf. So I'm trying to say to all of us here, because we are gathered today to crown those that have served with distinction. So the Bible says it clearly that whatever you do, when we are serving the citizens of this country, we have to do it diligently as if we are doing it to the Lord. And I think the people that are going to be crowned today, they diligently did their work as to the Lord. And this is why we are gathered here today to celebrate the good work that they've done through the various merits or the rewards that they are going to get today. I would like to also say the crown or the rewards that they are getting today. I want to urge everyone who is here to say, let's not just strive for the rewards of this world, but let's push it further and say we want to receive the rewards for having done very well on earth, and also strive to receive the rewards from the Almighty that will usher us into eternal life. Shall we bow our heads in prayer? Father who is in heaven, we are so thankful for according us this opportunity to meet here today to celebrate the achievements that our members have accomplished we would want to invite you to be with us so that all the proceedings are blessed by you, so that everything goes according to plan. At the end of it all, dear Lord, we want our names to be written in the book of life. We ask all this in the dear name of our Lord Jesus. Amen.
We would like to call upon Mr. C. Ncube, who is the head of ICT. A round of applause as Mr. Ncube comes up. As Mr. Ncube comes up, let us remember that we are celebrating staff members from the Public Service Commission who have been playing such a critical role. And of course, Public Service Commission focuses on accelerating the public sector in terms of transformation. Thank you.
Round of applause for the lovely lady for introducing me. Our guest of honor, our Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Comrade July Moye, the Chairman to Service Commissions, Dr. Vincent Wungwe, Chief Secretary to the President's Office, Dr. Rishwaya in absentia, Dr. Mungai, Deputy Chairperson for the Public Service Commission, Dr. Ndiweni, Commissioners, Secretary to the Service Commission, Dr. Tsitsi Choruma, Heads, General Managers here present, Directors, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me if I'm lost for words this evening. This place is teeming with bling. I see a lot of blinging, a lot of fashion. It's very nice. I feel honored to stand in front of you. As introduced, my name is Charles Ncube. I'm the head of ICT in the Public Service Commission on any given day. But tonight, I rise to take this enviable task of getting this party started. The prospect of doing this was more daunting than the reality I'm living right now. I'm excited and in a celebratory mood, and my sunny personality, for those that have met me in the past, is normally contagious. So if you're not there yet, just let me rub a little bit of that contagiousness onto you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to this inaugural awards function for the Public Service Commission. It is a rare privilege for me to do so, and I'm tempted to really milk this opportunity. And I'm sure the Secretary wants me to get off the podium now. But I won't, because we need to immerse ourselves into the festivities of the night. It is my singular privilege tonight to call upon a person whose elegance and acuity is exceptional. She's the Secretary to the Service Commissions, none other the immaculately dressed tonight, Dr. Tsitsi Rosemary Choruma. Please help me with a loud applause as we welcome her to the podium.
Right. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. You all look so good. You look so good. I wish we could have a competition tonight. Just to see who is the best dressed. Some of these guys I'm seeing here tonight, Chairman, I've never seen them before. In fact, I'm just seeing the guys, not the ladies. But anyway, thank you so much for coming, and for coming elegant, well-dressed for this occasion, prepared for what we're going to have tonight. Before I take a lot of your time, I'd like to welcome the Chairman of the Public Service Commission, who's going to come up, make a few remarks, but also introduce our guest of honor before he makes his speech. Thank you very much.
Good evening and welcome. Let me recognize the distinguished executive directors of ceremonies in our midst. Honorable Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable July Moyo, the Deputy Chairperson of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Nomathemba Ndiweni, Commissioners of the Public Service Commission here present, and our Secretary to the Service Commissions, Dr. Tsitsi Choruma, Head of Agencies and of the Public Service Commission, the entire Secretariat of the Public Service, and also our other invited guests. I've noticed in our midst our colleague, Mr. Mungai, Dr. Mungai, who's always with us whenever we are either planning our work, strategic planning meetings, and setting ourselves for a whole range of strategic interventions. So as we plan and celebrate, so should we equally enjoy his company. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I indicated good evening to you all, and thank you for sharing with me this very important inaugural moment in the calendar of the Public Service Commission. This is an exceptional and triumphant moment for individuals, for agencies, and the Public Service Commission as an institution, and I would want you to take special note of the fact that I'm referring to it as inaugural. So we expect to have it deepened, have it expanded in order not only to celebrate exceptional performance triumphs within the Public Service Commission, but extend it to the entirety of the public service. I assign this description to this occasion because it provides a platform and opportunity for us to reinforce the correct notion that great things are achieved by teams. Achieved by teams while individuals remain key to the success of institutions. There is no conflict in our acknowledging both the necessary role of the collective and the indispensable function of the individual in institutional performance, renewal, and transformation. We also assign great importance to this occasion as an inaugural initiative conceived by a leadership that is purposefully convinced of the need to give credit where it is due. It is with this in mind that we have gathered here to appreciate excellence, and to my mind, we achieve that superlative zenith when we surpass our set goals, serve beyond the call of duty, and attain milestones ahead of time. This is consistent with the commitment of government to identify and leverage viable accelerators of progress towards our collective target of Vision 2030, supported by the instructional and normative content of our National Development Strategy 1. I need to mention that innovation is critical to our bid to accelerate economic growth, service delivery, and the execution of the requirements of the NDS-1 towards Vision 2030. The Chairman's Award and the other awards that are going to be given today have their rationale, the centrality of leadership and institutional continuity. These awards mobilize an interesting adjective, potential, clarifying the fact that there are distinct traits in people that naturally propel them into leadership roles. In this sense, then, our task here tonight is to celebrate human potential. And in doing so, we extol and encourage an assertive spirit that accelerates collective success. Leadership potential is a factor of the extent to which institutions can empower those individuals who have it to be responsive to their natural tendency to lead. This is why I consider empowerment of individuals to be a key accelerator in catalyzing leadership traits. The critical importance of empowerment enjoins the PSC to be structurally and systemically configured to identify the nature of a cadre that radiates acuity and confidence in the workplace. We are committed to empowering individuals by motivating their intrinsic desire to be productive beyond what job descriptions prescribe. We empower teams through acknowledgement and by emphasizing the merits of united effort. I'm sure you are familiar with the folklore adage that says, when spiders unite, they can tie down a lion. My apologies for those who belong to the lion totem. It's just an adage. Our unique and distinct strengths, when combined with unity of purpose, create a fertile ground for good leadership and, as a direct consequence, for accelerated growth and development. Ladies and gentlemen, institutional success is founded on the value systems and culture we allow to prevail in our institutions. Our stated and lived values should always be fully aligned. We have stated that our values include high performance, professionalism, accountability, innovation, inclusiveness, entrepreneurship, high ethics, and servant leadership. All these values represent qualities that are associated with good leadership. For the people who have been nominated as potential leadership types, it is important that you begin to nurture the values espoused by the Commission and allow them to always find full expression in your conduct. For the rest of us who, by virtue of being part of an institution whose leadership in national development is a matter of mandate, your natural inclination should also be towards ensuring that your aspirations embed these values in your attitude and behavior. Let me advert to the issue of values, particularly servant leadership. The tenets of a servant leader are inextricably linked to the entire set of values that they have set for themselves. On that wise, power is not derived from authority and coercion, but from influence. The potential leader should thus be influential to inspire a following of the entire team that is motivated by conviction of vision, mission, and strategy. And it is that produces our operational plans. A good leader promotes the ownership of the Public Service Commission, indeed, the success of the whole government by the entire team. It is this kind of achievement that actuates the amelioration of culture in an institution. You cannot merely preach culture change. You need to inspire it through an exemplary demonstration of total commitment to the task and mandate that we have been given as an institution. to influence public service efficiencies as we assist in the administration of the country, and to deliver a human capital content that is committed to rapidly changing the lives of Zimbabweans for the better. Ladies and gentlemen, leadership is not operationalized in a vacuum, but in the context of what an institution does. I call upon our monitoring, evaluation, and learning team, as well as those among us charged with performance appraisals, to execute exhaustive interventions that will, in future, make it easier to make decisions on who of our personnel should be awarded these accolades. If we have a performance benchmark that is seamlessly linked to our respective targets and that flows from the stipulated NDS1 deliverables, it will be clear to all of us when these are surpassed and our bid to outrun the prescribed pace towards an upper middle income economy and society has been achieved. Existing administrative data that we generate on a day-to-day basis, and evidence generated through the normal course of our work should identify our leaders, our high performers, and our innovative teams. I hope in your bid to remain at the top of leadership potential, you are answering the important questions: how does one lead in a milieu where we are called upon to accelerate the pace of economic development? I am certain, as potential leaders, you are already crafting pertinent responses to these questions. You will discover these responses are always returning to the idea of influence and ambition. An ability to inspire people to live in the necessary mode of agency is key to the Zimbabwe we want to build. Next time you are tempted to procrastinate, just remember that your genius, your boldness, your integrity are founded on your ability to relate all these service delivery efforts to those things that needed to have been undertaken yesterday. See yourself as the causal link that answers to the call of the Public Service Commission. Let me, at this moment, maybe join the national clarion call as we go through the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, to condemn gender-based violence, particularly violence against women and children. And also, let me also take this opportunity to reiterate that the Commission will remain vigilant to ward off the malady of drug and substance abuse. Let not our celebrations and festivities today erase our consciences and alertness to our social responsibility to conscientize those we encounter as we discharge our duties. We have an institutional and individual duty to make lives better by leveraging our vantage position in society. So as I prepare to take my seat, I would like to congratulate in advance those who are receiving various accolades today. May your success inspire greater ambition to attain Vision 2030 ahead of time. I thank you very much. Honorable July Moyo, where do we start? Introducing an increasingly evident doyen of public administration and management. an institutional permanence across the breadth and depth of Zimbabwe, in particular its public sector. At independence, resolved to come and join the new government of Zimbabwe as a young man with colleagues. Happily, most of them are still with us today, and they joined an imagined Ministry of Local Government and National Housing as undersecretaries, and their rise thereafter is a matter of historical record. And became permanent secretary in the Ministry of Environment, and became minister in the Midlands province, redeployed to central government as minister in the ministries of labor and social welfare, and subsequently moved to transport and communication, moved to the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works. And of course, there was a time when local government, public works also included the housing component, and finds himself back in the space with which he is so familiar, the Ministry of Labor, Public Service and Social Welfare. We have come across individuals who have got a very deep understanding of our national systems of public administration and management, and none is more attuned and aware of the nooks and crannies of that space that I've come across myself as Minister July Moyo. He never runs out of historical anecdote for purposes of demonstrating an administrative or managerial point. We're talking about Christmas today with him, and as usual, he will say, "Do you know where that started from?" And we say, "Well, we don't know where it started from." Then he says, "It started with Amen Stole." Of course, not our Amen Stole that we know. Honorable Minister, there is a young man in this commission called Amen Stole. Where is he? That young man there is called Amen Stole. But of course, this was a reference to an historical figure long time ago, who actually became the first chairperson of the Public Service Medical Aid Society, the first black person to chair that institution. And the other day we were talking about the pension fund, because we are in the process of trying to migrate our pension fund from the pay-as-you-earn arrangement to defined benefit pension scheme. And of course, you'll always say, "Oh, do you know where the whole issue of the pension fund started from?" So he is so immersed in the history that lies behind our national system of public administration and management, and therefore is the most appropriately positioned person to share this moment with us, where we are launching, as part of the History for Tomorrow, the awards and honors that we are going to be handing over tonight. Our Minister of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare is our guest of honor today, and let me, on this occasion and this moment, call upon Honorable Minister July Moyo to come and address us. Honorable Minister, say.
The Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Ungwe, the Deputy Chairman of the Commission, Dr. Ndiweni, commissioners here present who represent various backgrounds, deliberately so. Now that we have recently graduated political people, you have added another dimension. The Secretary to the Commissions, Dr. Choruma, heads, general managers, directors, and my good friend Linné, who is in our midst. Ladies and gentlemen, last time I was called to a meeting like this, Kome Mavima would know, I had to follow speaking after Dr. Zoko, and he is lavish with words. And my own teacher who taught me in Form 1, Professor Ngwabi Bebe, who we just lost. And when I came to the podium, I said, ina nchadi zokutaura nechirungu. Nokuti ningazofuna chirungu chachitaurwa na Vincent Ungwe. Kurina ndizitaure nechokwamai, because of what I had listened to. And following behind what Ungwe has been articulating, as I was sitting there, I was tempted to say, I'll speak in Shona and spike it with Ndebele so that I don't follow him. But my disadvantage is that I have to read this because it's so compacted. It's a compact that we have between us and you in the public service. And it has been written in such a manner that those who are going to receive these awards will realize that this was a very important occasion. In your deliberation about what I have held in the public service, there is one unique one which I think you have not repeated as a commission. The unique one was when I was appointed Deputy Secretary Commissariat in the office of the President and Cabinet. I was the first and the last commissar of government. But it gave me an advantage. I was supposed to make sure that every government ministry understood the ideological thrust that the President and the government of Zimbabwe wanted to impart. Secondly, in order to do so, I was required to attend every cabinet committee, especially the working party, and to make sure that every deliberation has to adhere to ideological tenets that that government was wanting to have. And of course, I attended cabinet committees chaired by ministers as part of the civil service who must attend those those ministerial committees. And we had many of them, those committees. And I think it gave me an insight on how government ought to work through committees. And the Public Service Commission is critical at understanding those committees so that when they give people who must go and populate the ministries, those people must also be attending collectively the committees that shape this government. But as I walked in, I said to myself, if I had not met Ungwe this afternoon, I would have been in trouble. He said, you have to bring a bow tie. And I say, why bow tie? I mean, why? I have a good tie. He said, but bow tie. Then I said, do I bring my wife? He said, yes. I said, but are you bringing your wife also? And when he told me none of you are bringing their wives, I said, no, I will bring my bow tie. So I'm here in a bow tie, but the level of elegance that I have seen, if I had not brought that bow tie, I would be someone who is standing out of this place. And you are displaying in this place what defies even the laws of gravity. And as I see angelic faces of women, I'm a Moyo, by the way, so don't, you can forgive me. And the regalia that is floating around, I'm amazed that you have been able to get such an assemblage in an evening like this. I hope you will be able to dance. The chairman's invitation for me to come to this event came at a very appropriate time, when we are all seized with a need to accelerate in delivering the promise of government to the people of Zimbabwe. And we are doing so after the resounding victory that our president and his ruling party have achieved in the August elections. And they achieved this on the basis of the achievement they had made in the last 5 years. That's why the president did not order his ruling party to have a new manifesto. His manifesto was based on achievements that had been made. A celebration of excellence is always an indication of commitment to achieve more and to do so well. Thank you for affording me this exceptional opportunity to make what I have understood is an inaugural remarks that mark the culmination of a process that we hope to become the culture of government going forward. We are gathered to acknowledge people who have distinguished themselves while serving the public in their respective stations. And you have stations throughout Zimbabwe. Thematically, this gathering is constituted in the context of, I quote, accelerating the push for excellency by public servants mindful of the needs of citizens, end of quote. So, Chairman, Commissioners, I'm aware that our consideration is reaching decisions on who should be honored today was an inclusive collective process validated by an auditing mechanism. If you passed through this, and some of you did, thorough process, and you are poised to receive your trophy or shield tonight, you have cause to pat yourself on the back because you excelled. Just a word of caution though, do not allow this success to make you complacent, because others will catch up with you. Rather, make it the reason for you to want to retain the position in the years to come. I am also impressed with the poetic and aesthetic sensitivity of the organizers who named the awards, there's a word which I cannot pronounce, so I will pronounce another one. Aspire and inspire, before they ran out of loaded appellations. And I say this because I had the minister, Dennis Norman, an Englishman, of course. And when I was Secretary for Transport, because of the serious drought that we had in the 90s, the president added energy to our ministry, so it became transport and energy. So our first outing was to talk about photovoltaic, and we wrote a speech for the minister. And we had internationals, and the minister could not pronounce photovoltaic. And he started saying photovoltaic, photo. And then meanwhile, we were dying, wanting to burst out laughing, but you can't do it. Then he looked at us and he could see people wanted to laugh. And he said, I used to laugh at Simon Mzenda, the deputy president, vice president. He was, the vice president was reading a speech on veterinary services. And the vice president came to a word which he could not pronounce. He said, and there's a word I cannot pronounce. And Dennis Norman said, I should have been as clever as Simon Mzenda because I'm a laughing stock now. It is my understanding that this was acknowledged, an acknowledgement that the PSC is a continually morphing or transforming entity aspiring to empower public servants to facilitate delivery of responsive service while continually inspiring all of us through a human capital development approach that leaves no one and no place behind. It is always heartening to witness the practical implementation of His Excellency the President Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa's purposeful focus on ownership of the responsibility to build Zimbabwe. Nyika inova kwanani, ilizwe leyakwa ngobani, libuswe ngobani, vanutaura chindeveri vashoma. Regional balance, sorry, but I know you have it. I am informed of the type of awards that should be presented as the Secretary's Award, denoting that characteristic behavior, attitude, disposition, activity, and identity, which should be associated with the person mandated to account for rapid implementation of NDS 1 prerogatives through the facilitation of an empowered human capital and well-structured government. The Secretary to the Commissions chose innovation both as a value and a key ingredient to catalyze the attainment of Vision 2030. This decision must have been taken for good reason. One of these reasons is that there has been a best practice shift by many progressive governments in favor of innovation in the context of the public service. Some governments and public entities and public institutions, including our own, have even gone a step further by establishing government innovation units and hubs, just as the President has encouraged every university to have innovation hubs and innovation industrial parks. Innovation is not a luxury, especially in a season when government service delivery needs to be accelerated. It is a time where the Vision 2030 must be attained in 2028. And NDS 1 pillars beckon us to work smarter and faster. The value of public sector innovation is in the confluence between service experience and an outcome we all know as citizens' satisfaction. Citizen satisfaction is at the core of this government's mantra that we are a listening government, and therefore we must listen to what the people say through citizen satisfaction. The award of these trophies and shields signifies how each one of us should value our work and the weighty responsibilities it has in fulfilling the expectations of Zimbabwean citizens. Many public servants ask the question, how can I be expected to innovate in a system with so much bureaucracy? Innovation calls upon us to work within our ecosystem. If you want to get out of your ecosystem and create your own, maybe it's better to ship out. This ecosystem must be innovated through you, not to become critic of the reality that we face. Those receiving awards tonight innovated within the same environment in which every public servant is working in. You have a choice between innovation and excuses. We are doomed to succeed. At any rate, innovation solves difficult problems, and if you consider government bureaucracy to be problematic, innovate until it complies with your endeavor to accelerate transformation. The agency you see today receiving the Secretary's Award is one that has clear programmatic priorities. It had ecosystem activators, that is, the kind of people who are not comfortable with routine and predictable mediocre outcomes. It had internally focused analysts and those entrepreneurs daring to take risks in order to attain their goals are prescribed by their mandate. I therefore urge all trailblazers to infuse this exceptional quality into others as you work to systematize innovation across the entire Secretariat of the PSC. And when you do this, and beyond you, you are influencing the whole of the public sector and ministries and agencies. I'm informed that to support the cause of transformation, innovation, the PSC, in line with its avowed values, is committed to creating a safe entrepreneurial environment that is tolerant to risk-taking, accompanied by a learning process. This learning focus should be embedded in our monitoring and evaluation function in such a way that innovations are potentially validated in real time. I am not advocating for wanton and unmitigated risk, but for a mitigation that is anchored through research process that precedes the implementation of innovations. That way, the government is protected from losses associated with innovation. And if government is prevented from losses because of innovation risks, then we know we are moving forward. At any rate, our innovations should always come at minimal cost to the fiscus. If you want to innovate and you start calling for more monies, then you are not an innovator. You are a big spender, and we don't like big spenders. Remember, the purpose of innovation is making life more convenient, and all stakeholders must feel that you have improved their livelihoods. Let me hasten to temper my excitement about innovation with some cautionary remarks. When an organization or even individual embark on the innovation journey, organizational antibodies begin to deploy in order to mitigate perceived threat. So your antibodies are now ready to attack those who win. I am sure we all recall that Edison's light bulb was ridiculed by the British Parliament in 1878. The Business Insider lists coffee, fighter jets, aeroplanes, personal computers, taxis, and the vaccines as discovery that had to survive ridicule because they made it. What would have been happening? What would have happened if these innovations had succumbed to these inhibitors or process? I know a young man in Zimbabwe who has innovated and say he can have a big well, he first tried to have a helicopter, and how many of us ridiculed him? And then the next thing he did, he could make these lights using air and circulation. And again, all of us either internally laughing at him or in social media just ridiculed him. But those who know that this is the beginning of what innovation ought to be have now snatched him. So those who have done it, you will be ridiculed, but please don't get snatched from us. No coffee would have happened if we had listened to those who ridiculed us. No personal computers and no aeroplanes. We therefore need to take a principled stance to accommodate innovation and proof of our agencies against organizational antibodies that introduce phobias and inertia. We need to organize skunk works and focus groups with agencies, within agencies, to make innovation a top of mind pillar in the PSC. I have dwelt on innovation because I want all of us to realize that we need to nurture thinking skills and transform ideas into tangible solutions and work processes. We, however, need to be conscious that these awards are about more than just innovation. We value and acknowledge servant leadership, inclusivity, commitment, ethical behavior, and hard work. The Commission, in my view, and all of you gathered here, need to take that lead. You cannot be boastful about you being employers because it doesn't resonate very well with the agencies in ministries and in society. You should be known for the Commission that has integrity, that includes everyone, and that leads by example. Therefore, we shall therefore honor people who have had the distinct ability to exhibit their potential to lead, and those whose hard work, diligence, and commitment separate them from the pack. This should motivate all of us to aspire to speed up transformation and to inspire others to seek excellence, and we accelerate towards the Vision 2030 and attain upper middle status ahead of the projected time. We have said 2028. It would be irresponsible of me to leave this podium without sounding the alarm on the severity of the drug and substance abuse that has been said by the chairman. We repeat this because we are chaired by the chairman, the national chairman of the ruling party deliberately, because it's a whole of society that is affected by drug and substance abuse. So in the wisdom of the president, he said the chair should be that minister. Although the secretariat is in my ministry, but all of us have to put our efforts to rid this country of drug and substance abuse. And what will make it even better is when the Commission preaches it, because you carry a carrot and stick in the public service, in the whole of the public service, and therefore your carrot and stick, if it is actually exercised, particularly the stick, when people abuse drugs, then you are sending a very good message. In the same vein, allow me also to add my voice on the current activism concerning violence against women and children. Part of my portfolio is protection of children in society. And I know that others are protecting men and women, by the way, in the Ministry of Gender. But my job is to protect children. And our children are now the targets of not just drug and substance abuse. And I know I would disappoint people, but I must say it. Our national chairman, Comrade Opa Zipange Mchinguri Kashiri, he has said, and I'm saying it very softly, that skin whitening creams are an abuse of drug and substance. He sends a wrong message, but I don't want to say it too loudly. But I can echo what she says. All forms of abuse and violence against always have to no place in our national agenda. The voices of public servants should be heard from all posts, as the chairman has said, denouncing violence, denouncing all forms of substance abuse, and being proudly Zimbabweans as created in our color by our Creator. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me again to extend my appreciation and hearty congratulations to everyone receiving an award tonight in advance. May the gains of today open opportunities for more growth as you continue to aspire for excellency and to inspire others to excel. For me, listening to the chairman, he almost announced that I'm probably the oldest in this room. Aline, you are younger. I know that. I'm probably the oldest. And what a pleasure to be able to see young men, young women who excel in this government serving the people of Zimbabwe. I thank you very much.
Indeed, that was quite a pulsating speech. We may take our seats, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make a very forthright confession. It is extremely difficult to speak after three people. The first one is the secretary, Dr. Choruma. The other one is the chairman, Dr. Ungwe. And of course, the third person is the Honorable Minister July Moyo. You can all agree with me that these three constitute a default trilogy on the superlative zenith of linguistic dexterity. I was actually looking for a thesaurus to try and decipher some of the terms that were thrown in the space, but I realized I do not possess sufficient phonetic orthography to kind of understand what they were talking about. That was just hardcore. You know, there was once an international conference for lecturers of English at the University of Northumbria in Newcastle. So you can imagine all global universities with professors of English, and they were all gathered there. So when academicians are gathered, you need to be a little sensitive because those people might not be very easy to deal with in a subtle way. So the banqueting team at the hotel, the conference room in Newcastle, came and whispered to the organizers and said, we are just about to go for lunch. Maybe find out from the people whether it would be good for you to serve us with soup as an appetizer. So there is a British in the room, and he's looking very incredulously across the table at a Chinese professor. And at the back of his mind, he's saying, really, does a Chinese professor speak clean, good English? So he whispers across the table and he says to the Chinese delegate, because he thinks that he has not understood the announcement for soup as an appetizer. He says to the Chinese delegate, would you like some soupy? Soupy? Then the Chinese man does not even answer verbally. He simply nods his head. And they have soup. Come the main dish and there is fish. So the British guy says, would you like some fishy? The Chinese guy simply nods his head. So at the end of the whole 1 week meeting, and all the people are raising their hands to make very eloquent contributions, the British guy is beginning to suspect, does this Chinese guy really speak English? So he makes a very mischievous suggestion that the Chinese delegate be asked to give an impromptu speech by way of vote of thanks. So the Chinese gentleman simply stands up and delivers a very lucid, laconic speech in perfect English. Before he goes down, as he is enduring a 5 minutes long standing ovation, he turns to the British guy and he says, "Did you like my speechy?" So, Honorable Moyo, as we were listening to your speechy tonight, I noticed that you are not only an honorable minister, you really turn out to be such an erudite academician of undaunted intellectual virtuoso. I was listening, Honorable Minister, when you were garnishing your pre-written speech with your very instinctive and natural and organic historical nuances. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for situating your speech into the inner sanctums of the history of the Republic of Zimbabwe. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, we were listening very intently, and we loved how you looked at the Public Service Commission as not a static or stagnant entity. You were giving a clarion call for continuous upskilling. And because of that, we noticed you're not only intelligent in terms of extolling the virtue of your ministry, but you have also decided to very fortuitously dismount the pontifical dais of infallibility when you, Honorable Minister, when you were reminding us on the need for monitoring and evaluation. You kept on talking, Honorable Minister, about the merits and due diligence behind risk mitigation. You were talking about the research process as well as organizational antibodies. I almost thought you were giving us a biomedical metaphor of organizational antibodies, and I felt you were going to throw in a little bit of vestibular neuronitis and because your language really got medical. I almost thought you were going to talk about disseminated intravascular coagulation. But Honorable Minister, you draw us back to the fact that Vision 2030 constitutes our overarching view of where the country is going. Ladies and gentlemen, yet another round of applause for the Honorable Minister. And I'm reliably informed that as we are speaking, the sadza has gelatinized. The rice has granulated, the soup has emulsified, and the juice has flocculated. So we are really getting ready to go through some kind of a gastronomical scintillation. But before that, may I ask the high table, the Honorable Minister, and the 3 high tables that are appropriately designated to come here for an official photo shoot.
Master of Ceremonies. I'm chairman with a small c. With a small c. Just to be careful. Honorable Minister of Minister of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare, Comrade July Moyo, the Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Deputy Chairperson of the Public Service Commission, Commissioners here present, the Secretary of Service Commissions, fellow heads of agencies, ladies and gentlemen. What we are gathered here for is a culmination of a comprehensive process coordinated by a committee known as the Honours and Awards Committee, which I chair, and was appointed by the Secretary of Service Commissions. After the idea was conceived and approved, the Secretary gave the committee a blank page to commence the process. The committee went on to identify the different categories of the awards and to design a system for the selection of winners in the respective categories. Consultations took place at various levels within the commission, and it was agreed that the awards should be in the form of trophies, shields, and certificates. The selection process was based on an objective system that was audited at every stage. The system involved the use of scoring instruments which gave more weight to subordinates in case of a supervisor and peers in choosing winners in various categories. Those who scored the highest proceeded to the next stages of the selection process until the winner was selected. The awards categories are Chrysalis. This is for members with less than 2 years who demonstrated commitment to work. The Most Improved Member, Client Service Award, Outstanding Performer, Chairman's Award, and Secretary's Award. For Chrysalis, the Most Improved Member, Client Service, and Outstanding Performer Awards, the nomination process started with peers nominating those they felt deserved. The score of the peers weighed 80%. The nominated members were also assessed by their supervisors with a weight of 20%. For the most supportive leader, the nomination process began with the subordinates rating the supervisor on defined leadership dimensions. The subordinates rating weighed 60%. The nominated leaders were also assessed by their peers and supervisors, whose assessments carried a weight of 20% respectively. For the chairman, secretary, and inclusivity awards, agencies and departments were asked to submit a written evidence-based justification for consideration. The committee then went through all submissions to select the most deserving individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the background of the honors and awards that will be presented here tonight. The committee is grateful to all who submitted nominations. I would like to thank all members of the awards committee that was ably coordinated by the General Manager, Internal Human Resources, Mrs. Madamumbe. I would also like to mention Mr. R. Sama Jesse for his technical advice to the committee and the support for Mrs. Nzumara. We had the audit department representation on the committee to monitor the transparency of the process. We also had members from other agencies and departments in the committee. I would like to ask those members to stand up so that we see them for the sterling job which they did. Can members of the committee stand up wherever you are? I thank you.
Thank you very much to Dr. Chikova for explaining to us the overview process of how each individual was given the award. At this moment in time, I would like to call upon Mr. Ngwarati, who is the Chief Director of Finance, and he's going to be giving us the audit confirmation. And I'm sure most of us, as he comes up, might be asking, what does an auditor do? And it's important for us to acknowledge that auditors examine, analyze, and interpret certain processes. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening to you all. My name is Mutara Mishek. I'm the acting General Manager, Internal Audit and Risk Management. But today I'm wearing Mr. Ngwarati's hat, who happen to be our chair of the Audit Committee. So with me, I'm going to share his remarks and to give affirmation to all the remarks that has been said on the role that has been taken by audit in this process. To begin with, may I start by observing the protocols that has been alluded to by earlier on presenters. The reason why I decided to read on the protocols already alluded to is because as audit we manage risk. If I'm to go line by line, it would mean maybe I'm going to miss it. So as a way of mitigating that, I decided to write on the protocols already observed. So as I read Mr. Ngwarati's remarks, I'll start by saying internal audit was born or was established in terms of Section 80 of the Public Finance Management Act. And it is responsible for overseeing that government funds are expensed in the best way that ensures value for money. So in the same manner as we were interrogating and testing and validating the process, we ensured that there was value for money. As you can see, today we were enjoying our meals. I'm sure everybody is going to say the money was put to better use. As I go to his remarks, Mr. Ngwarati said from the day he received the letter of appointment, after just having a glance on the heading, he started by signing his acknowledgement of acceptance. Why did he do that? He did that because, you know, everybody wants to be associated by one of the most successful organizations. Meaning to say, as PSC family, it's more like you are in envy for everyone out there. I think those who attended yesterday's job fair, they can testify to say everybody is to be part and parcel of the public service. So here are the remarks or the key takeaways from Mr. Ngwarati. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share with you key takeaways as follows. An Honours and Awards Committee was appointed to administer the process leading to the event we are witnessing today. The committee was chaired by the Head of Strategic and Program Management, who just left the podium now. And from his remarks, I think he confirmed that audit was involved from day one. And I'm here to give assurance and affirmation to say, indeed, we're involved from day one up to where we are today. And we are going to go beyond. When I say we are going to go beyond, we are going to give an evaluation of the whole process, and a report to that effect is going to be produced for the principal's attention. And as part of our evaluation, we are also going to recommend maybe ways of improving. Remember, this is the first time we have just embarked on this kind of event. Obviously, as a new thing, there are bound to be areas where we feel we need to improve. And as PSC, remember, we lead and others follow, meaning to say other MDAs are going to follow suit, copying and pasting to what we have been demonstrating today. So if we say we are done and we don't continue to research, it would mean these MDAs maybe will excel more than us. So going forward, what does that mean? It means me as the chairperson of the Oversight Committee, I will not rest, because when I was appointed, it was like I was not invited to come on holiday. I came here to do extra work and overtime, meaning to say, my vision is to continue to be part of this wonderful family, but I should also contribute, meaning to say, as audit, we are going to ensure there is value addition in all the processes. And let me also confirm to you, Chairman, that when I came to PSC, I learned one thing: corporate governance. You always preach of good corporate governance. You always speak of good corporate governance. You sing good corporate governance. That's the reason why you see me standing before you to say you value a lot as far as audit contribution is concerned. And it is no secret, Chairman, that any organization that values audit is one of the most successful organizations in the whole world. So, back to our event, like I said, we were involved from day one. We also interrogated and validated the initial processes, which involved the nominations by peers. We also validated various categories that were on board, like the Chairman's Award, like the Secretary's Award, the Aspire, and the Chrysalis. We were satisfied. Allow me to give an opinion to say nothing came to our attention that warrants us to say this was not above board. In other words, in as far as audit is concerned, we can safely say we hereby give a clean opinion. Thank you.
A round of applause to the Chief Director. As we proceed tonight, we are all encouraged to have patience in life, but never to the point of becoming patients ourselves. Therefore, congratulations are in order for these selfless PSC cadres who were beyond any shadow of doubt deemed committed, unrepentant, unapologetic, and ultimately their contribution has been deemed unmatched. Mr. Shah, take us through the next step.
Excellent, my partner in crime, Mr. Calvin. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, it is befitting that we draw our attention to the spectrum of awards and honors in recognition of quality service under Public Service Commission. You will notice that the nature of the awards that are going to be narrated and parceled out tonight is such that they follow a particular projectile, quite resonating with the words of the guest of honor in saying we recognize everyone, regardless of their presumed small position. We all exist in an ecosystem of connectedness across our respective portfolios of service. And in that regard, I'm going to invite, in their respectable capacities, our guest of honor, Honorable July Moyle, to come forward and stand here, and alongside the chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Wungwe, and of course the secretary of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Tsitsi Choruma, in her respectable capacity, madam. We are going to invite them, the three of them. Never mind their deliberate collusion to some kind of verbal thunderbolt. We will not ask you to speak, lest we temper with our tongues. So here is how we are going to do it. You notice they are standing in a particular order. We are going to enter using this set of stairs, and then we receive in this particular order, courtesy of our dignitaries in the house, and then we exit the other way. But for us to go through the motions of this particular moment, I'm going to ask my partner in crime yet again, Madam Unique, to take us through, as I also think, Honorable Minister, we've spoken a lot of English tonight. I wish we could indigenize the language a little bit and go back to the nitty-gritties, the inner sanctums of our own Shona phonetic orthography. Because don't keep on saying, please pass me the ice cream from the fridge. Right, that's how we're going to have to do it. Let me ask my lovely lady, Unique, to take us through the first round of awards. Over to you, madam.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce the first award, which is the Chrysalis Award. And as I'm going to be explaining what this award is about, to give a background and context, I'd like the technical team to prepare so that we can also pay attention to our screens. The Chrysalis Award is bestowed to new members who have served not more than 2 years in service, but demonstrate outstanding effort and commitment to duty. 2 forms to be administered and to be completed by peers and to the nominees' supervisors. The total weightage of the 2 forms is 100%. Supervisor's form contributes 20% and the peers' form contributes 80%. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to pay attention to the screens as we hear the voice that will give us the runner-ups and the winner.
Sharon in the house. Do we see her?
Legal Services Officer.
Round of applause to Chido. Please do pose for a photograph with the Honorable Minister. And thank you for being right on time, Honorable Minister, to honor. Excellent. Chido in the house. Thank you. Thank you very much. As we proceed, ladies and gentlemen, from the Chrysalis Award, I want to thank Honorable Minister, your ministry, for providing an iterative assessment process that does not only look at one person, but it allows fellow colleagues and peers to participate in the adjudication process. So the first was Sharon Shambare. Or the first runner-up, yeah? The second, the first, and the winner. Which order, madam? Can you help me? Excellent. So she says the second runner-up was Madam Sharon Shambare, who belongs to the Records and Information Office. All right. Did she collect? I kept on shouting Sharon in the house. As she collected, excellent, round of applause. Very good. And the first runner-up was Sylvester Musera. Excellent. Please do get some photo section next to the Honorable Minister as the Public Service Commission honors you for the job well done. Excellent. And of course, as the pre-recorded video shouted, let's give a round of applause to the winner for the Chrysalis Award 2023 edition, Madame Chidosha Shenmure, Legal Services Officer. Here is the lady who joined on the 3rd of October 2022, and here we are already. Honorable Minister, your ministry looks even at the very first year of service. And thank you very much for guiding us as we announce this. So, yes, thank you for the guidance. And of course, we're going now to the second award, which is Most Improved Member. And by a token of comment, I had said, Honorable Minister, your ministry recognizes people in their respective capacities. Here is somebody who got the first prize, yet they are only 1 year long in the service. In the most improved, it means we have a 360-degree performance assessment model that is exhaustive enough by way of peer reviews as well as assessment metrics. Thank you very much. Yes, let's reinforce the order accordingly. The Honorable Minister says we are the humans and therefore we are in control. The second runner-up, ladies and gentlemen, is Fortunate Mlambo. Well done, Madame Fortunate. You can stand next to the Honorable Minister as the audience honors you tonight. Excellent work. And of course, the first runner-up, coming up, ladies and gentlemen, is Godfrey Marembo. Godfrey Marembo serves in the capacity of a handyman. Mr. Marembo, Public Service Commission honors you tonight for your diligence in dispensing with your respective duties. Stand next to the Honorable Minister as you see how Public Service Commission honors the blessedness of your own hands. Thank you, Madam Doc. Mr. Marembo is a handyman. Leaving no one and no place behind. Honorable Minister, you said it very clearly. Thank you, Madam, for giving me guidance there in terms of honoring people in their particular places of operational situatedness. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner tonight of the most improved member is none other than an office assistant running by the name of Audrey Chitandire. Audrey Chitandire in the house. Audrey is an office assistant. Audrey, you do a lot of administrative duties in the office, and tonight, Public Service Commission says your work never goes unnoticed. Well done for raising the scepter of excellence in the process of doing your duties, and you get away with the Most Improved Member Award because Public Service Commission recognizes you. Boss Kelvin, please take us to the next stage.
Thank you. And the next award is the client service. And basically, this is an award that we conferred tonight to someone or the people who have demonstrated excellence in customer service. Over to you, our engineers.
All right, that's fine. So, the nominees for this award, the client service, are the following. Theophilus Tafumani, an office assistant, and Polani Zamini. So the second runner-up in this award is Theophilus Tafumani, who is an office assistant. A round of applause for Theophilus Tafumani. Where is Theo? A big hand to Theophilus Tafumani. Well done. Well done, Theophilus. As you are going to be posing with the minister. Yes, she's shocked. Body language speaks volume than a prepared speech. Well done, my sister. Well done, Theophilus. And the first runner-up, ladies and gentlemen, the Client Service Award is none other than Machingambi Gordon, our beloved driver. Mr. Gordon Machingambi. And I'm hearing people sharing the word saying Shumba Shumba. So, well done, our driver. He is multi-talented. Even football is the best dribbler in our team. Well done, Shumba. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this prestigious award, the client service, goes to none other than Kolani Dlamini. He's a caretaker. Well done, Kolani Dlamini.
As we go to our fourth award, we're going to our outstanding performer, moving with the theme of the Public Service Commission, accelerating public sector transformation. The second runner-up, ladies and gentlemen, for the outstanding performer is Arlington Matanga. Arlington Matanga, round of applause. Arlington Matanga is the transport officer. Another round of applause as he comes out. As Arlington gets his picture, we go to the first runner-up, who is Tinashe Kamumvuri, who is a training officer. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Tinashe Kamumvuri, a training officer. Tinashe is at Domboshava Training Center. Is Tinashe in the room? Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tinashe. You seem quite young. Why don't you run up to the platform? And the Honorable Minister talks about taking ownership of nation building. Another round of applause to Tinashe, ladies and gentlemen. As Tinashe gets his picture with the Honorable Minister, we are going to talk a little bit about the winner. The winner member joined service on the 26th of March 2007 as an accountant, and he is always conscious of deadlines, adhering to statutory requirements. And he played a pivotal role in the infrastructure development of Inyati campus. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the outstanding performer is Shadrach Nau, who is an accountant. Shadrach Nau, a round of applause.
When we were listening to the speeches a little earlier, Chairman, you spoke a lot about leadership. And I remembered how you were delineating various types of leaders. And tonight, we are going to an award that recognizes leadership. Various types, various tropes, varieties of leadership. And you said leadership is not just a leisurely walk in the park. Leadership sometimes makes you go to the abrasive process of making a head-on collision with some uncomfortable reality, because principle continues to reign supreme. And therefore we go to the most supportive leader. And you said, Mr. Chairman, a leader is not only good in their individual capacity, but when they subsume their individuality under collective ethos, then they become relevant to the whole team. Honorable Minister, tonight, the second runner-up of the Most Supportive Leader Award is none other than a gentleman, Enrum J. Mr. Mj is the manager, organizational development. Let's give him a round of applause. Manager OD. Organizations keep growing, and if organizations do not heed to the building blocks of development, we will never become the public service commission we wish to be. Thank you, Mr. Mj. And of course, appropriately, I'm getting my notes in order. The first runner-up is yet another Andrew, and this time, Andrew Shimanyiwa. All the way from Midlands, Andrew being the provincial coordinator. Andrew's rep here, garbed in very symbolic headgear, reminiscent of Ghanaian rapper and Buba. She represents the quintessence of African feminine decorum. Thank you very much, Andrew's rep. Ladies and gentlemen, an honorable minister, tonight, the winner of the Most Supportive Leader Award happens to be a member that joined service on the 14th of September in 2009 as Deputy Manager, Human Resources. This person is a great team player and a dedicated individual and does not hesitate to carry the department's load on their shoulder. This person grooms their subordinates and aims at leaving no one behind in terms of personal development as well as professional development. Ladies and gentlemen, it is befitting that we all give a round of applause to a lovely lady who happens to be the General Manager, Talent Management, by the name Grace Machakaire. Grace Machakaire. Madam, you are being honored tonight. You are being honored for your selflessness in becoming a conduit of blessings for the development of other people. God bless you as you dispense with your role to celebrate the goodness of others. Such is the metal that leaders are made up of. Leadership is not in themselves, but in the positive influence they radiate to those that fall under the purview of their own leadership. Madam Grace in the house. Well done, Madam.
Thank you. Well done, Madam Machakaire. And to present the sixth award tonight, that is the Inclusivity Award. This is an award that is to be given to a department that contributed the most to the inclusivity agenda as we make strides to achieve the NDS1. And the winner of this award, the Inclusivity Award, is the Human Capital Development and Management. And to receive this award tonight is the head, Mr. Mpandawana. That's my department. Well done, Human Capital Development and Management. So this is my department and this is my head. So it is fitting to say Human Capital is the home of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving forward to the Secretary's Award. And the Secretary's Award saw it befitting to award an individual and a department. The member who contributed most to the service delivery initiatives within this department, joined in September 2014 as a finance manager. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dr. Farai Gaba. Dr. Farai Gaba is the General Manager of Investments, Development and Management. May members of the agency come up, please, for the picture. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as the members come up.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Unique. We are now going to the last but not the least, Honorable Minister. And this is yet again an award that speaks to leadership merits, defining the quality of leadership that we wish to see in Zimbabwe. And I remember when you were giving your speech, you spoke of servant leadership, because you believe that people can only be meaningful if they lead in such a way that they include everybody in their respective capacities. And therefore, we go to the Chairman's Award tonight. And under the Chairman's Award, the second runner-up, am I right, ma'am, happens to be a lady who is a Communications and Advocacy Officer, none other than Madame Margaret Ganagana. I hear a swagalicious rendition of Ghana Ghana's Ganas. Thank you, Madame Ganas, for gunning your way to excellence tonight. Ghana Ghana. Ghana is an Arsenal, Ghana. Yeah, she sounds like a pretty much die-hard fan. Madame Ghana Ghana, well done as the second runner-up. The first runner-up, according to the correction I have been given appropriately, is Mr. Joseph Wititi. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, the 2023 edition of the Public Service Commission Awards Night, under the Chairman Award, is a person who happens to be a General Manager for Investments, Development and Management. This person joined service on the 3rd of September 2014 as a Finance Manager. And this person has been instrumental in positioning work of the Public Service Commission for revered acknowledgement by the citizens and the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe. The conception, the materialization and management of the two key investment funds within the Commission, the Public Service Pension. So we are celebrating tonight a person whose due diligence in terms of managing critical facet of the Public Service Commission The winner of the Chairman Award tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than the General Manager, Investments Development and Management, Dr. Farai Gaba. Well done, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, our leadership has done a fantastic job tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. And before I ask you to sit, may I request in her respectable capacity, Dr. Noma Tembandiweni to come forward, the Deputy Chair for the Public Service Commission. She is going to use her responsibility to officially hand over a token of appreciation to our honorable guest of honor tonight, the Honorable Minister, whose first name is a month of the year, Honorable July, delivering awards in December. We want to thank you, Honorable, for the uniqueness of your name and your portfolio, and we are truly honored. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister, the Public Service Commission honors you, and it honors your ministerial portfolio as it draws the framework for the Public Service Commission. Yet another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, you free to take your seat alongside the chairman, but Doc Choruma, we are not releasing you yet, madam. We would want you, Doc, to bring this officially to closure by way of the final remarks and a vote of thanks that brings us to the penultimate conclusion of our engagement tonight. Yet another round of applause for Dr. Choruma, please.
I would want to call upon this man to come up and just show off a little bit. Let's see why he was voted the best dressed man. Mr. Manzini, can you show us? Is there a person in that name? Where is Mr. Manzini? Give him a round of applause. And what does Mr. Manzini get for his beautiful attire? Mr. Manzini, I hope you have a partner. You do get a one-night accommodation at this place with your partner. Thank you, Mr. Manzini. I hope you're going to enjoy the one night. We shall audit the partner. I go to the lady. Miss Mbere, can you show us? Right on. Isn't she looking fabulous? Hey. Oh, you walk around, you let them see what you're wearing. Again, I hope you have a partner. Don't come with a fake one. No. She gets a one-night accommodation at Mana Resorts. Right. Okay. I hope I have permission from the chairman to give our children one-night accommodation here. Right, thank you very much. I would like to start by acknowledging the Minister of Public Service, Labour, Social Welfare, Comrade July Moyo. The Chairman to the Service Commissions, Dr. Vincent Hungwe. The Chief Secretary, Office of the President and Cabinet, Dr. Martin Rushwaya in his absentia. Deputy Chairperson to the Public Service Commission, Dr. Nomate Mbandiweni. Commissioners here present, Dr. Mungai, heads, general managers, directors, ladies and gentlemen. It is amazing that after such a long session, but I think it was short, of excitement and celebration, I think we also managed to acknowledge fashion and elegance. My task is easy here. I rise to give the closing remarks for the Public Service Commission Inauguration Award ceremony that has rightfully kept us awake and engaged. It is easy because all participants featuring in this event conducted themselves with alacrity and aplomb. It is also my conviction that we have all remained sober enough to comprehend the magnitude of the statements that were made here today. And we have also, been able to acknowledge all the excellence that have been awarded here. The conceptualization of acknowledging and celebrating excellence came to us as an overdue intervention. An intervention that is not only meant to motivate individuals and teams, but meant to inspire a sense of urgency in achieving impactful service interface with our citizens. We believe that values, attitude, skills, passion, hard work, insight, foresight, and leadership are still needed as accelerators for attainment of our government prerogatives. This is just the beginning, as has been said before. We need to continue to refine the process, to broaden and tighten the criteria, but there won't be any stopping. Future events will surpass this one in every sense. We value our human capital. We cherish the array of talent we have. And as your secretary, I think we should celebrate when we achieve. So, as I say that, I say it from the bottom of my heart. I've been in the commission since 2018. I've met and I've learned to know the workers in the Public Service Commission. Chairman, I'm the type of person who, when I come from home, I get off in second floor or third floor, because it is important that as the Secretary of Commission, I get to meet those who do all the work. I would want to say here, Chairman and Minister, that we have only acknowledged a few, but most of the people sitting here today are hard workers. They give their all. They show up when you don't expect them to show up. They learn when there is need to learn. They listen when you ask them to. They have become my partners in trying to understand how we can together effectively move the agenda of the public service, and more so, move beyond what we know as the role of the Public Service Commission. The Minister has already said it. We have an immense task as the Public Service Commission. We should be the trailblazer of everybody else in government. We have to show how everybody else ought to perform. If we set standards, we can't set them for other people. We have to start implementing those standards ourselves. The danger that I see every day is we are the generals who are marshalling everybody, and yet we don't stop to ask ourselves, are we doing the same? Or are we going beyond? We learn every single day. And Honorable Minister, from yesterday we have been learning. This woman is an action woman. I will not stop. As long as policy is there, I know my responsibilities. I am the CEO of the Public Service Commission, and I shall move this institution in motion together with these people. As leaders, you set policies, but allow us to innovate, allow us to think, allow us to fail, allow us to succeed. Because that's why we are here. Tisuve never choices. And we should be given the space to do the things that we think should be done for this country. And I have no doubt that all these people here are committed, as long as we give them the stretch, the space, the support, and the trust, they will do everything. And I say this with emotion because I've seen it. I've seen how these people work. Getting out of the emotions, I would like to first thank the guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of the Public Service and Labor and Social Welfare, for taking your immense time. You have so much to do, sir. But within a short notice, you thought it was important for you to be here, and we value your time. Thank you very much. I would also want to thank the Chairman of the Public Service Commission for his unwavering support, to the Secretariat, and personally to me. I came to the Commission when I had worked in the private sector and other sectors. I had worked in government when I was very young. And of course, things change. This environment changes. But he has been my teacher. He has been my boss. He has shown patience. And sometimes he doesn't tell me that I'm doing wrong. He just demonstrates this is how you need to do it. And because of that, I have confidence. I have confidence every single day when I walk in my office that somebody is holding my hand. And thank you, Chairman, for doing that. I also want to thank you, Commissioners, for sitting on the table, for being the brains behind some of the programs and the work that we have done. You've been my colleagues when I was a commissioner. We have thought through some of these programs we are implementing. But I was able to agree and say, Tumamina, I will do it. And I will do it not with a blind eye, not with a deaf ear, knowing very well the vision of this commission, because I started with you. We started together. And I do hope for the next 5 years, God willing, we will move mountains. There are unsung heroes from various agencies who have done the not so glorious footwork to deliver, a successful event. Thank you so much to the committee. I think you did this with fun, but one thing I want to acknowledge, Honorable Minister and Chairman, this was a team's result. They worked together. They brainstormed. They gave each other space. The committee led by Dr. Chikova, we left them to do the things that they thought they could do. And thank you so much. I think this is a wonderful event. To all our invited guests, let me remind you the words of Chinua Achebe. A man who calls his kinsmen to a feast does not do so to save them from starving. They all have food in their own homes. When we gather together in the moonlit village ground, it is not because of the moon. Every man can see it in his own compound. We come together because it is good for kinsmen to do so. Thank you for celebrating us. Last but not least, the recipients of the various awards and accolades, congratulations. But do not be complacent. Strive to do even better next time. Work to retain your trophies next year. For those of you who did not receive any awards, your work is acknowledged, but also your work is well cut out. Chairman, I always tell people that as I was growing in my profession, I would see people who come to work and complain about bosses who give them work. I was one of those who would say, okay, give me the work. Before you know it, I've overtaken you, and I'm the boss. Right? So there's something about just taking, just receiving, and experimenting and innovating. You don't have to get instructions all the time. You can think outside the box. You can do what is possible. And I do hope that we just don't do awards for the sake of awards. We celebrate achievement every single day we walk in the office. So I do hope that this is just symbolic. But how we live achievement and success is a day-to-day thing. So I do hope you can remember this. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our joyous event. Go well. Fambai Zvakanaka. We do hope you can still dance before you go. Thank you very much.
Very typical of Dr. Choruma, sweet, succulent, and dulcet voice that always makes sure she connects with her audience. And thanks to the esteemed leadership of the Public Service Commission for taking us through quite ably. I'm reliably informed that there is an audit process going on where all those who have not redeemed their drink vouchers might suffer from retrenchment. Please make sure you drink all your vouchers before you leave, all right? May I request those responsible for transport to come and clearly explain how the logistics have been put in place for us tonight. Otherwise, by virtue of the authority reposited in us, as your three eco-friendly, ISO-certified Director of Ceremonies in Africa south of the Sahara, permit us to declare that this duly constituted audience can now freely drive back to our respective homes of residence. Mwari akukomborei vamwe pemunenge muchifamba nemotikari dzenyu mahonda fit pemuchazosvika sitinenge tasvika kumbagare nemabenzi but Mwari akuropafadzei tese tinenge tichingogomborerwa nemweya mutsvene. Mota dzakangofanana, I drive a Mercedes, mwana drive a Mazda, asi tiri mwana waMwari tese kusvika tasvika kumba. We declare that this duly constituted audience is officially dissolved. God bless you. God bless all. Asante sana. I rest my case.